Magandang araw po, ako po si Rosan de la Cruz at ito ang Reforma. Dito sa ating programa, tututukan natin ang mga institusyon at ahensya sa tatlong sangay ng gobyerno. Maayos ba ang pagpapatakbo ng mga ito o kailangan bang baguhin para mapaganda ang kanilang serbisyo sa mga Pilipino? Sa aming episode ngayong linggo, tatalakayin natin ang effective implementation ng Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act, kung saan babantayan ang paraan ng pagbibigay serbisyo sa ating mga taong bayan. Kasama rito kung paano nga ba ang behavior at ang pagtrato ng mga kawani ng gobyerno. Nakaranas na ba kayo ng mga matataray na empleyado ng gobyerno? Katanggap-tanggap ba ito? Saan tayo pwedeng magreklamo? Para pag-usapan yan, makakausap natin si Anti-Red Tape Authority Director General Secretary Ernesto Perez. Magandang araw po, Sec.
Magandang araw, Rose Ann. Magandang araw po sa lahat na nanonood sa programang ito.
Maraming salamat po sa pagtanggap sa aming paanyaya dito sa Reforma, sir. DG, mag-umpisa na po tayo sa una nating tanong. Can you briefly explain to us ito pong Memorandum of Agreement that you signed with the Civil Service Commission, yung RA 11032 or the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act of 2018?
Thank you, Rose. Just a brief background. The Anti-Red Tape Authority was created under Republic Act 11032 for the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Delivery of Government Services Act, which amended Republic Act 9485 or the Anti-Red Tape Act of 2007. Under the Anti-Red Tape Act of 2007, it was the Civil Service Commission that was the agency tasked to implement the law. However, with the amendment of Republic Act 9485 and with the creation of the Anti-Red Tape Authority, the Anti-Red Tape Authority took over from the Civil Service Commission in the implementation of the Ease of Doing Business law. Kaya malawak po ang karanasan ng Civil Service Commission. Kaya lang, nung panahon po ni President Duterte, kanya po minabuti na i-amend yung batas para mabigyan pa ng mas lalo pang ngipin para labanan ang red tape sa ating bansa. Kaya po i-create niya ito. Kaya nung last August po, pirmahan po ng Memorandum of Agreement ang Civil Service Commission at ang Anti-Red Tape Authority. The Civil Service Commission, dahil malawak po yung kanyang karanasan, extensive po yung kanyang network, the whole country, at dahil nga po dito sa under a whole of government approach na in-espouse ng ating Pangulo na ang mga ahensya ay magtulungan, lalo na po sa ating laban sa red tape at saka korupsyon. At saka po yung Ease of Doing Business law pala, meron po kaming mandato na enabling and capacitating of government agencies to comply with the Ease of Doing Business law. Tapos meron din po tayong enforcement or investigating side under our legal department to implement and file charges against violations of the law. After the due investigation and findings, we either file our recommendations either with the Civil Service Commission if the offense involves purely administrative at yung official involved ay not non-presidential appointee, meaning below salary grade 27. But if it involves both administrative and criminal at ang respondent ay presidential appointee, the Anti-Red Tape Authority files it with the Office of the Ombudsman. Kaya napakaganda po ang Memorandum of Agreement na to dahil ang Civil Service Commission mayroon silang offices nationwide. Samantala ang ARTA meron lang kaming 8 regional offices. At ang Civil Service, bawat opisina nila, meron sila doon yung tinatawag na Anti-Red Tape Unit. So mapapalawak pa yung resources, makikipagtulungan para lalo pang pag-itingin ang laban ng ating gobyerno laban sa red tape.
Sir, bali holistic kasi to, no? And in the ease of doing business, nandyan kasi hindi lang din naman yung digitalization, hindi lang naman yung equipment, yung processes, and also even nandito yung mga empleyado, no? Yung mga kawani ng gobyerno na nagbibigay ng serbisyo sa taong bayan. Basically, kaya din tayo, or can you confirm if this is also included in the memorandum of agreement?
Ang detalye po ng Memorandum of Agreement kung saan in writing po, nadidelineate yung responsibilities. Taas, no? Halimbawa, for example, under the law, yung pag nag-imbestiga ang ARTA at ipinali ito sa Civil Service Commission, yung Civil Service Commission will either file the case in court or dismiss it. Pero sa doon sa Memorandum of Agreement naman, kahit na halimbawa, dinismiss ng finding ng Anti-Retif Authority ay dismiss yung kaso, hindi ma-file sa Civil Service Commission, yung Civil Service Commission on its own, relying on the complaint, no, the same complaint filed with the Anti-Retif Authority, can consider it, investigate it, and file the necessary charges. It may have a different interpretation of the facts. At yun po, tapos doon po yung Civil Service Commission under the MOA will also be receiving complaints on violation of Republic Act 11032, and they can conduct their own investigation. So ARTA is amenable to it because the more extensive our fight against red tape, the better for the country, the better for people.
Yes, I agree po kasi yan yung mga usual na nagiging complaints ng mga tao, no? Sir, meron ba tayong gabay? May guidelines ba tayo kung paano kailangang itrato ng mga kawani ng gobyerno ang taong bayan when it comes to government service?
I can only speak for the implementation of Republic Act 11032, that is the law primarily designates the Anti-Retif Authority to implement it. And under Section 21 of the law, it specifies yung acts of violation by government officials or employees. Kasama po dito yung failure to attend to the applicant within office hours and within the premises. So pag ang isa po, halimbawa, aplikante nagpunta sa opisina ng isang government agency at siya po hindi in-entertain. Diba, kasama din dito yung pagsusungit, no? Dahil pagsusungit, parang it is as if you're not entertaining the applicant or you're not serving the applicant who is within the premises within office time. That is considered already a violation. And a violation will have a commensurate penalty. Pag first offense po ay 6 months suspension. Pag second offense ay dismissal from service. Meron pang perpetual disqualification from government service, forfeiture of benefits, meron pa pong fine of 500,000 to 2 million, at meron pang imprisonment na 1 to 5 years. So, napakabigat po na penalty. Kaya every time po na alam ng ahensya ng ARTA involved na at inimbestiga na ng Anti-Retif Authority at alam nila na dito po sa ARTA mabilis ang ating legal department na umaksyon at alam nila na pag hindi nila pinansyan ang reklamo at binaliwala nila. So after due investigation, observance of due process, wala pong magagawa after appreciation of evidence, ipapahil yan ng ARTA either with the Office of the Ombudsman or with the Civil Service Commission. We're so successful and happy to share with you that yung ating legal department, yung resolution rate po is almost 99%. At ito po, based on the figures na given to us and available in our website, almost 98. Ang closure rate po is, to be exact, 98.75%. So that's about 99%.
That's good news.
At effective po talaga kami at marami kaming natatanggap na mga testimonies from applicants, those who have pending cases with us. So grateful. Hindi lang po individual, pati mga malalaking kumpanya, even ambassadors, no, na feel nila at naka-experience sila nung mabilis na serbisyo ng Anti-Retif Authority. So gusto ko pong ganun sana we lead really by example, we serve by example. Kung ang perception nila sa ibang ngayon sa ganito, kami po sa Anti-Retive Authority gusto namin na maging mabilis sa proseso. Kaya ang tawag sa atin ay yung batas ay ease of doing business. Dapat paspas, mabilis ang serbisyo, paspas Pilipinas, o bilas-bilis.
That's good news, Sec, no? Kasi alam mo talaga naman, for the longest time, talagang ang nagiging complaint ng mga tao sa gobyerno ay kapag kukuha sila ng mga permits, ng mga IDs, they have to, parang medyo nag-aalangan silang kumuha. It's because nahihirapan sila sa proseso, nahihirapan sila sa experience na ma-experience nila sa pagdating nila dun sa office mismo, no? Kasi nandyan yung mga masusungit, nandyan yung mga may lunch breaks, tapos aabutan ka ng haba ng pila, yung matagal. So this is good news for our fellow Filipinos, no, sir?
Alam mo, Rosan, dapat hindi ito nangyayari, no? Kasi specifically under the Ease of Doing Business law, lahat ng agencies covered, national government agencies, local government units, government-owned and controlled corporations, state universities, state hospitals, saka water district. Hindi lang po kasama dito yung legislature, saka yung ating judiciary, tsaka yung 4 na constitutional bodies, nakasaad po dito sa batas na lahat ng ahensya ay dapat meron silang updated na citizens charter na nakapublish sa kanilang website or nakapost doon sa kanilang opisina. Ano po itong citizens charter? Ito po yung dokumento na kailangan lahat ng serbisyo na ginagawa ng ahensya, i-declare nila sa publiko. Ano ba yung services that they offer to the public? The standard processing time of 3/7/20 na all the requirements and fees to be submitted, at very specific po yung batas na pag ang aplikante ay sinabit niya kompleto yung requirements and the fees as declared in the Citizen Charter, dapat ito po i-aksyonan ng ahensya within the standard processing time of 3/7/20 working days from the date of receipt, subject only to one extension. Dapat po ito ma-actionan, either approved or disapproved. Pag dinisapprove, required dito ahensya na inform yung aplikante the ground or the reason for the disapproval. Otherwise, considered na po ito as violation. Hindi po ba napakaganda ng batas? Kaya yung mga reklamo na sinasabi na mahabang pila, matagal, o kaya ang daming requirements, una nilang titingnan, as if I may suggest, advise our people, pag kayo po ay may transaction, may business sa isang ahensya, unang-una po ninyong titingnan ay yung citizen charter nila. Ngayon, ang compliance rate po ng agencies to us is about 95%. So lahat po talaga meron dapat na citizen charter na dapat sinasabit nila updated. Yan, in the remote possibility na wala po silang citizen charter, i-complain po nila sa ARTA. Madali lang po, mag-email sila, complaints@arta.gov.ph, o kaya tumawag po sa aming hotline 12782. 24/7 po open niya at meron sasagot.
There you go. Ang galing, no? Very, sir, kasi, di ba, parang it's just yung tipong mahihirapan ka kumuha ng kung ano yung kukunin mo, ng permit, ng ID. Mahihirapan ka if you don't have the proper requirements. Pero kapag may proper requirements ka, sumunod ka sa proseso, sumunod ka sa mga guidelines, you should not have a hard time getting all of this, and
Yes.
doing your business, no? And this is what ARTA wants, and this is what the government wants to reform, di ba? And sir, dito naman tayo, no? So ano yung mga ahensya ng gobyerno na kung saan marami po tayong natatanggap na reklamo tungkol sa pag-uugali ng mga empleyado as of now, as of today?
Wala po pa kaming, to my knowledge, wala po kaming natanggap specifically na yung nagsusungit, no, na na hindi maayos yung pagtanggap. Ang karamihan po na natatanggap namin na reklamo dito yung hindi na-actionan yung application within the standard processing time of either 3, 720 o kaya hindi sinasagot yung mga written request or query because under the law, kung meron po tayong katanungan, especially pag ito'y nakasulat either by email or snail mail, dapat po ito isasagutin ng ahensya within the standard processing time of either 3, 7, 20 working, depende kung ano yung nature of transaction, either simple, complex, or highly technical. Pag simple po, halimbawa, parang ministerial, no, na on the part of the agent to act, dapat po within 3 working days yan, sagutin nila. Kung it requires some discretion on the part of the agency, 7 working days. Ngayon, kung kailangan yung pag-aralan at it has implications to life or safety, it requires a longer period of 20 working days. Dapat po, pag hindi yun na-actionan, yun ang kadalasang reklamo na ating natatanggap.
Sir, would you know, ano ba ang dahilan? Bakit ba ito yung mga madalas na nagiging reklamo?
It's hard for me to say the reason. Perhaps it should be the complainant who should be saying this. But ako lang po, I'm just relying on the complaints that are submitted to us, that have been filed to us. At siguro po, people are already learning, being informed of their and being conscious of their rights, no? Especially kaya po kami sa ARTA po, but napaka-aggressive namin, especially pag may mga request for interview. Gusto po namin talaga malaman ng buong bayan na meron po tayong issue doing business law at meron po tayong ahensya, Anti-Red Tape Authority under the Office of the President, na sinasabi ng ating Presidente, labanan ng red tape by way of specific directive po. Kanya palagi sinasabi, streamline and digitalized government processes. Pag sinabing streamline po ay dapat yung mga unnecessary requirements dapat tanggalin. Yun na yung talagang kailangan. Yun na dapat. Kaya kami po, hindi lang kami nagre-rely doon sa submission ng kanilang citizen charter. Tinitingnan din namin by way of yung business process na tinatawag namin dito. Pinag-aaralan namin na ito ba yung government service ay require burdensome requirements, okay? May mga unnecessary requirements. Inirecommended din po namin sa EDSA na kung pwede ay streamline, tanggalin yung unnecessary requirements, i-shorten pa yung processing period, kasama po yun sa ating mandato. Meron po tayong tinatawag na sa ARTA yung under mandate to conduct regulatory review. No? Aba, isang regulasyon, dahil sa meron silang legal basis yan for setting up those requirements. So they rely on regulation. Yung regulation naman, hindi naman ibig sabihin na pag nag-issue na at nag-implement ang isang ahensya ng regulasyon, ayun doon na. Ang taong bayan po may karapatan na kanila pong questionin yung regulasyon. Ito po ba ay did it undergo necessary public consultation? Did it undergo yung regulatory impact assessment to ensure that that regulation does not cause undue regulatory burden or cost to the transacting public and to the agency? Kung sabihin po nila ay yung regulasyon na yun ay unfair, hindi naging subject sa proper public consultation, kaya mahirap, meron po silang karapatan to write or call ARTA and request for ARTA to conduct regulatory impact assessment. Kaya nasa dyaryo po ngayon, nasa column ni former National Economic Development Authority Director General Silito Habito, sinasabi po niya na na yung mga yung ito pa pala hindi pala na yung ating laban sa red tape talagang napakalawak, pero meron pong ahensya like na Anti-Red Tape Authority na para po tayong si David na nilalabanan natin yung red tape by way of a persistent effort. Meron din po sa news ngayon na yung ating mga Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Management Association Association of the Philippines, kini-question po nila yung issuance ng Securities and Exchange Commission. Nasa news po ito ngayon, no? Na pahirap, nagdagdag ng burdensome cost to the businessmen. At sinasabi po nila, this is not consistent with the ease of doing business law. Kaya nirequest po nila yung SEC na i-subject yung regulation na ito sa regulatory impact assessment. At ako po, nung nabasa ko itong news item na ito, aking pong inutusan yung ating Better Regulations Office to write a letter to the SEC, no, to request for a that the question regulation be subjected to regulatory impact assessment.
Sir, yung ARTA, nagpasagawa siya ng mga inspections sa mga agencies. Do you do that? Or how does the process go? Yung pagdating sa, kunyari, may complaint and then nag-i-investigate ba yung ARTA? Can you
Yes, under our operations group, Rosan, meron tayong dalawang opisina. No? Yung Better Regulations Office, ito yung nag-enable and nagka-capacitate ng mga ahensya to comply with the ease of doing business law like the regulatory impact assessment. Meron naman po tayong compliance, monitoring, and evaluation office. Ito po yung nagko-conduct hindi lang ng table evaluation, meaning checking on their websites, but also conduct on the spot or surprise inspection to assess or to find out or assess the agency's compliances with yung citizen charter requirement, yung meron po tayong yung zero backlog policy, meron din po tayong marami pa po, no, yung conduct ng una-una po citizen charter, tapos yung conduct ng observance ng zero backlog policy. Marami pa po, at recently nga po yung ating CMEO nag-inspect po ng all the government hospitals. Tinignan po nila yung compliance nila doon sa malasakit law, yung pagbigay ng medical assistance, yung pumbang mga facilities ng hospital ay consistent with the ease of doing business law, meaning na hindi mahaba ang pila. Ito po ba ay yung mga pasyente ay na being attended to properly. Yun po, isa lang po yun sa aspeto. But we also conduct nationwide inspection. At last year po, if I may share, no, Rosan, pasensya ka na, medyo excited ako.
Yes, sir.
Meron po tayong ni-launch na, no, very scientific way of assessing the agency's compliances. And we call this the Report Card Survey 2.0. Then before, yung Civil Service Commission, nagkukonduct po ito, meron silang mystery shopper. Pero ginawa po natin, talagang hinarmonize natin yung survey or assessment by way of a hiring of a third-party assessment body. Expert po ito sa pag-conduct ng survey of the way government services are being rendered. Last year po, nag-conduct ng pilot testing tayo on 50 government agencies. At dito po nakita natin, out of the 50 government agencies, 5 lang po yung nakapag-qualify na nagre-render ng very satisfactory, meaning yung rating is 90.1 to 94.99. No? Pag outstanding kasi, 95 to 100. Karamihan po, meron pa po mga bumagsak. Ito pong taon na ito, pinalawak pa natin yung coverage from mere 50 to about 800 government agencies. Doon po, yung ang nature po nitong report card survey ay titingnan po nila, kasama dito sa tawag natin na client satisfaction measure, no? Kung saan i-measure yung services that are being offered by the either outstanding or satisfactory, very satisfactory, or outstanding, or below satisfactory. Tapos yung report card survey, para naman po ito yung parang gine-grade natin, no, yung service that was rendered. So doon po marinig kung nagmamasungit, kung hindi mabuti yung aplikante, i-report po, bigyan either ng satisfactory grade or very satisfactory grade or outstanding. Yan po. So lahat po ng gaps are being covered. That's why we really call the ease of doing business law as a change maker law, because it practically covers everything. It has set the fundamentals in which ARTA has laid out all the appropriate programs, initiative to implement the ease of doing business. Ito pong taon na ito, makikita po natin talaga na meron pa tayong ilulunsad na mga programa in terms of streamlining and digitalization. Pero kung baka kulangin tayo ng oras, baka hindi ko na ito po yung aking sinasabi, yung Philippine Business Regulations Information System. Ito po yung system na na-develop natin with the assistance of the U.S. Agency for International Development, kung saan lahat ng regulasyon ng government agencies will be uploaded to this platform. And meron pong functionality na will determine whether or not that regulation has been subjected to proper consultation, at makikita din po natin kung merong overlapping or over-regulation into a particular sector of society, of service. Tapos meron po, and the other system is what we call the anti-red tape electronic management information system, na yung all agencies will be required to upload their citizens charter to that system, and it will have the functionality of enabling anyone who has access to that system to have a full view of the citizens charter being implemented by any particular agency. So lahat po covered. Imagine, regulations, citizen charter, even survey are being conducted. All. But gusto ko lang po i-emphasize din that ARTA cannot do this alone. We have partners in service, government services, DILG, Department of the Interior and Local Government, DICT, talagang partner po natin yun sa digitalization. In terms of enforcing regulations with local government, we deal extensively with the DILG. Napakaganda po ng ating relasyon with Secretary Benhar Abalos ng DILG, Secretary Ivan Uy ng DICT, DOF with Secretary Jokno, because we, under that whole of government, we really have to cooperate, collaborate with one another in order to implement the ease of doing business law.
And actually, sir, even all the government agencies, yung maganda yung the government agency should cooperate in this, kasi talagang maganda yung I love how passionate you are in explaining this law, no, sir? Kasi sabi mo nga it's a change maker
law.
No? Ang ganda kasi if only all government agencies cooperate and do their part in this, it will be a better government service for our fellow Filipinos, no? Isa, sir, kasi
And Rosan, if I may add,
yes, sir.
If I may, we also encourage partnership with the private sector. We have entered into memorandum of agreement with the Chamber of Commerce, with the Management Association of the Philippines, not only in the Metro Manila area, but even in the regions. We really encourage, we have these ARTA champions, yung mga private stakeholders group, we encourage them to report to us, enter into a memorandum of agreement with us so that we can cover the whole country. Yan po ang dapat talaga natin gawin. Maging aktibo tayo. We have to be aware of our rights, and in case of violation, we have to speak out, because for injustice to prevail, or for good people to remain silent, we have to take advantage of this opportunity. Speak out, no? Wala po naman tayong dapat ikatakot, kasi karamihan po sabi, ako medyo hesitant to file a complaint. Narinig ko po yun dahil baka sila balikan. It takes two to tango. Kung wala naman kayong tinatago at you're transparent, your applications are complete, hindi ka nagbabayad, so there's nothing to fear. And you are assured that there is this agency called the Anti-Red Tape Authority, directly under the Office of the President, which is serious about implementing the law.
Sir, I would just like to ask, dati meron kasing 888, if it's just okay to say that I've worked with the government before, and I know the 888, meron dyan nagrereklamo yung mga mamamayan natin, dyan sila pwedeng magpahayag, and then the agencies comply, are replying and are making sure that ma-actionan kung ano yung mga reklamo nila doon. Do we still have that? Or yung ARTA alone is okay?
Ako, mabuti na banggit mo yun, Roseanne, because incidentally, yung Anti-Red Tape Authority tsaka yung 8888 or yung Citizens Complaint Center, ay we entered into, nagpirmahan din po tayo ng Memorandum of Agreement with them last February 21, 2023. In fact, magkakaroon po tayo ng formal launching this coming tomorrow, October 11, kung saan magkakaroon pa na tayo ng more intensive information drive na kung saan under this memorandum of agreement with 888, kasi before the signing of that MOA, if somebody calls 8888 at may natanggap ito na reklamo o concern, yung 8888 ay ipapasa po ito sa government agency at it will require the agency to respond within three working days. No? Pero pag hindi nag-respond yung agency, parang hanggang doon na lang. No? So with this agreement with 8888, pag yung natanggap na reklamo, concern ng 8888 ay hindi sinagot ng agency, yung mismo under our agreement, yung 8888 or yung Citizens Complaint Center under the Office of the President will endorse the complaint to the Anti-Rentip Authority, and ARTA will investigate. And after due investigation, I will either file charges or dismiss the case against that particular agent with the Office of the Ombudsman or with the Office of the Civil Service Commission. So napalawag pa po. Pinagpatuloy po ng ating Presidente yung 8888. Hanggang ngayon po, at in fact, pinalawak pa rin po dahil nagtutulungan ang ARTA tsaka yung Citizens Complaints Center para lalo pang mapabilis ang serbisyo publiko.
And I think kung ipagpapatuloy, gagawin nating tuloy-tuloy yan, it will be effective as ever, no? Lalo na merong mga mechanisms na ginawa din ng ARTA to make it more effective. Tama, sir?
Yes.
Sir,
Yes, Rosa.
yes, sir. Sir, may nakikita po ba kayo na dapat na reforma naman sa Code of Conduct ng mga kawani ng gobyerno? Kamusta naman po yung pakikipag-ugnayan natin sa Civil Service Commission about this?
Maganda po dahil nga nabanggit na natin kanina, meron po tayong pinirmahan na Memorandum of Agreement with the Civil Service Commission. So in terms of the enforcement of the Code of Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees, hindi po yun saklaw ng Ease of Doing Business Law. Saklaw po yun ng Office of the Ombudsman. At with all due respect, it will not be fair for me to comment, no? Kasi that is the jurisdiction of the Office of the Ombudsman. If that involves a violation of the Code of Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees.
Sir, I would just like to ask, no, kasi recently, maliban naman talaga sa mga government employees natin sa mga offices, sa mga government agencies, yung mga immigration officers na naging dahilan kung bakit hindi nakakasakay ng eroplano yung mga mamamayan natin, nakagastos na sila ng pera, are they included in the MOA?
Nagkaroon po tayo ng similar complaint raised to us, no? And if that complaint involves yung regulation na in-implement ng Bureau of Immigration na pahirap, we have this process which we call business process, no? At tingnan po natin at kung and we require the Bureau of Immigration to submit to us the process, all the requirements and how they implement it. Meron po tayong natulungan. In fact, this is on record naman po. Meron tayong natulungan that was referred by the New Zealand ambassador kung saan ang immigration na-hold nila yung couple na paalis na sana at subject to a deportation case. Now, after we got into coordination with the Bureau of Immigration, tinignan po natin yung basihan nila at nagbigay po tayo ng rekomendasyon. At dito po, the Bureau of Immigration agreed na yung regulation na yung pala hindi applicable, and they agreed. No? So they cleared the couple, no? And dismissed the charges. Parang nagkaroon ng a simple inadvertence. No? Instead of deporting the New Zealand couple, binigyan na nila ng accepted naman yun. Tungtuwa po yung ambassador, even the New Zealand couple, and salamat po sa ARTA na napapilis ang ating assistance na ginawa. Recently din po, meron tayong natulungan na a case referred to us by the South Korean ambassador involving a big company in Clark, no? At meron po ditong in-implement yung ating optical media board na after 10 years of operation itong export 100% export company bigla pong pumasok at OMB at nire-require sila na yung kanilang export kasi yung turnaround time nito yung mga 5 hours lang. Ni-require ba naman sila na mag-seek ng parang import clearance certificate from the OMB? Yung process ng OMB requires about 5 days. That's impossible. And this is a big company, a dollar earner for the company, employing more than 1,500 Filipino employees, earning for the country millions of dollars actually. So when this was referred to us at nireferred din po ng Executive Secretary, ng ating Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, inutusan po ang ARTA na mag-conduct agad ng investigation. At within 1 week po after a hearing, the OMB agreed with us to at least grant some exemption to that Korean company and requiring further. Sumulat din po tayo sa OMB to subject that regulation to yung RIA, yung Regulatory Impact Assessment. So napakaganda po, no? Kaya po lesson learned, no? Na every time na merong ang isang either an individual or a company question about any particular regulation, ang gagawin na po niya ay sumulat sa ARTA and request that that particular regulation be subjected to regulatory impact assessment.
And that's good, sir.
Pag-aaralan po natin kung cover sila kasi hindi naman lahat ng regulasyon ay covered ng ay should be subjected to regulatory impact assessment. May mga exemptions po doon.
And that gives assurance then, no, to our people, to our citizens na merong ahensya na nagbibigay ng aksyon, na mag-aksyon sa mga concerns nila, no? Sir, pero dito naman tayo, baligtarin naman natin yung sitwasyon, no? Kung ang mga mamamayan ang magsusungit at magtataray or yung gagawa ng any violation sa mga kawani ng gobyerno, ano naman po yung magiging parusa o ano ba, maximum tolerance na lang ba talaga on the part of the government employees?
I look at it in a more positive way. Kasi we in government, we serve and we take an oath of service, no? And we serve the people. Ang number one customer po natin ay ang taong bayan. And we always believe that customer is always right. Ngayon, kung meron mga ganyang exceptional cases, I think pagbigyan na lang natin, sometimes hindi natin alam na meron ding pinagdadaanan yung tao yan. We let go. Kung hindi naman na-violate yung ating right, like we were not abused, no, physically or verbally, or hindi naman tayo physically hurt or what, pagbigyan. Kasi we are in this office to serve. At ang ating pinagsisilbihan ay yung taong bayan. Kung may mga sinasabi mong ganyan, maybe bibihira. I have yet to receive a similar report that has happened to our employee here at the Anti-Rated Authority. At kung mangyari ma yun, I will advise na to have maximum restraint, maximum tolerance at pagbigyan because sabi ko, first and foremost, we are here to serve.
That's good. Maraming salamat po, Secretary. Sir, last question na lang. Can you talk to our audience? Ano po yung pwede nilang maitulong sa ARTA pagdating sa mga bagay na ito? How can they help ARTA? How can they help the Philippines?
You can help ARTA, you can help the Philippines by reporting to us any form of red tape, any form of pahirap, mahabang pila, unnecessary requirements. Ipaalam po nyo yan. Tumawag ka. Huwag kayong mag-atubili. Magreklamo kayo. Tumawag kayo sa aming hotline 12782 o kaya mag-email sa complaints@arta.gov.ph para talagang malabanan natin ang gusto ang sinasabing red tape or even corruption in the process. Sama-sama ito under a whole of nation approach. Then if I may also share, we have a precedent. President Ferdinand R. Marcos is serious about implementing the ease of doing business law. Every time we have a meeting with him, he always emphasizes na huwag natin pahirapan ang taong bayan. Tanggalin natin yung unnecessary requirement, streamline and digitalize government processes. Kung meron kayong issues or issue or concern at all, please do not hesitate to report to us.
There you have it. Maraming salamat, DG. Secretary Ernesto Perez, maraming salamat po sa pagtanggap sa aming paanyaya. No? Maraming salamat po for passionately answering our questions. Sir, maraming salamat. Ang mga kawani ng gobyerno ay binigyan ng mandato para maglingkod sa taong bayan. Pero tila may mga nakakalimot dito. Paalala ng ARTA, kailangan ang customers, ang taong bayan ay pagsilbihan ng maayos. Ang CSC naman dati pa pinapaalalahanan ng mga kawani na kailangan maging magalang, masiyahin at mabait sa paglilingkod sa taong bayan, lalo na kung ikaw ang nasa frontline service. Pero sa kabila ng lahat ng ito, ang bottom line ay ang pagkakaroon natin ng respeto sa isa't isa, anuman ang maging katayuan natin sa mundong ito. Dito po nagtatapos ang aming talakayan sa mga may init na isyung nakakaapekto sa pagbibigay ng serbisyong pampubliko ng mga institusyon at ahensya ng gobyerno. Sa pagbabago para sa pag-unlad, isulong natin ang reforma sa gobyerno. Maraming salamat po.